So what did we do to bond as a cast, and what was your favorite part of it?
We did it all.
We did.
We
lived together in the hotel.
So we literally.
I mean, the three of us had dinner before the very first night of shooting.
Yeah,
too.
I cooked
She
for
cooked.
the three of us.
Yeah.
And we sat around my kitchen table.
They could both be therapists because they guided me through a lot.
Yeah, we would do cozy nights and then we would do crazy nights. We worked hard and we played hard.
When you first read the scripts for School Spirits, what surprised you the most?
I think the lack of knowing who was guilty for Maddie's death at every moment.
I wasn't even trying to guess for the first half.
I wasn't either. We didn't care.
Yeah, I was.
Because
yeah.
that didn't have to do with our characters.
That
That didn't apply to us, so we didn't care.
I don't know, we're all dead.
What show was that? But then it started to affect us, so we cared.
And you didn't know.
No.
The whole time I was like, Peyton knows. Peyton is.
I know. Everyone thought that I knew
lying
from
to
the
us.
beginning. And they kept being like, just tell us. Just tell us.
Milo really thought he knew.
Like-
and he thought he knew every time. Because he changed his mind about who he thought
Yeah,
it
Milo
was.
did not know.
Yeah.
Not even close.
No, he had a whole.
Board
His
he
board,
made. I have a
that was
picture of him
funny.
holding his board really proud. It looked like one of those murder, connecting the dots. In his hotel room.
Yeah.
I'm sure
He's
housekeeping was like, what is this guy doing?
Okay, how is School Spirits different than all of the stereotypical YA high school shows that we see? What sets it apart?
Nick Pugliese is in it.
That's true. He's not in a lot of other things.
It's beautifully shot. The DP, the directors, and Nate and Megan, the creators of the show, they really wanted it to look artistic and not just like any YA show on TV. And I think that sets it apart. And I think the writing is really good.
Yeah.
I'd get stuff and I was like, wow, this isn't bad. I think there is such a stereotype that you're going to do a YA show and it's going to be like a teen show.
Yeah.
And this, I feel like it is elevated.
Hannah, our director for the last block, told me that everyone looks really alien in a way. Like everyone has sort of like a not typical look for a YA show, I guess.
I like how when Hannah told you that we all looked like aliens, you took that as a compliment.
Yeah, that's nice.
I would not have.
I was like, that's easy.
She was like, I was like, don't even explain.
You're like, I
Thank
get it.
you. Thank you.
I would have journaled about it.
So Charlie acts as a tour guide to Maddie through the afterlife. If you were a tour guide at anything, what would it be?
I think I could do a really good food tour because I spend a lot of time on Yelp.
It's the
And
truth.
I cross-reference infatuation, timeout, eater, and so I think I could do a really good
I love it. Okay.
food tour and bar tour, like a bar hop. I could do
Yeah.
a good job at that.
You both are huge foodies.
Yeah, I
We like
never
good
want to
food.
eat anything that's not delicious.
Feelings. Love to talk about feelings.
Oh,
Let's navigate.
yeah, that's actually
That's the truth.
Therapy.
Yeah,
Therapy.
like a
I'm like, let's sit
therapist.
down and talk about it.
Yeah,
And why.
yeah.
I feel like I could be a tour guide of little nooks or parks or picnic spots or little tiny hikes, lookout spots. I love that sort of thing, finding little quiet lookout spots. So I could do that around here.
Let's do that.
Okay, sure.
And then we'll restaurant hop.
After.
And then we'll
And
Wow,
then
we'll
we'll
talk about my... Okay, best day of Let's go.
So there's a scene in the show where you both really let loose with our sort of spirit group. Is there a place like that or a time like that in your life that you've really let loose?
I feel like anytime I'm with my friends, I just am so stupid and silly. And I'm lucky and I love my friends, and so I feel like I feel really loosey-goosey around them.
I have a video of Nick when we went out in New York and he's doing that TikTok dance on the corner.
Yeah, I feel like I let loose honestly too much. I'm
not too
constantly
much.
loose.
No.
That's not true at all.
When it comes out, it's random. It's shocking and it's fun.
It's shocking.
The things I do are
I think the most shocking moment from you, I'm sorry, I know I asked the
no.
question,
Let's do this.
but when Super Freaky Girl by Nicki Minaj comes
Oh
on,
my god.
Oh.
That's it. That's the
I
moment.
can lick it.
Yeah, that's the moment. It's the moment.
Second to last day, we just kept doing just that one line.
Yeah, because
We
you
did.
do a thing every
I
time. I was
always-
at Payne's the other night and she was like, remember that thing Nick always does? And I started to do it. Because it is the thing you always do.
I have one dance move.
Yeah.
So Rhonda and Maddie share a vulnerable scene in the series. How did you prepare for that?
It was one of my audition scenes. So I had known the lines for months then leading up to it. And I sort of didn't want to over prepare it, right? And be like, this is the moment I cried. It felt really close to me by the time that we actually shot it, that I was like, this is what happens to me. That I don't know, I didn't want to put pressure on myself. And Nate and Megan, the creators of the show, as they did such a good job explaining our characters to us and giving us these nuggets of why she is the way she is. I don't know, it felt really personal. And I don't know, that kind of day I listen to my music and I'm away in my chair when I know I have to do that kind of scene. But I don't know, I think working with you made it really easy because you were just like there, you know, and like so open, and to be working with someone like that who's just like giving you everything. And I'm like, oh my God, this is, even given the circumstances of that day that we were shooting on, it was crazy. Oh, yeah. It was like, I was like, okay, I can hope, like Peyton's there.
If there's an emotional scene, everyone has different preferences for what they like to do to prepare. Some people love to joke right up until they call action. Others need to block every sound out with their headphones and, you know, not have anyone speak to them for a while. So I feel like we all were just like really receptive and like giving to each other and really listening to each other, which was really nice because it can be really scary, I think, when you're working with actors who, you know, are very, they don't care about, you know, the other actor's preferences or whatever it is. But we all just like really cared about what everyone else needed.
And then on the lighter days, we'd play a lot of games.
We goofed off a lot. That's what we did most of the time.
We goofed a lot.
I mean, we also had our school to ourselves.
I was just
so we would just run around the school, and sometimes we would just wander weird hallways, and it was actually an old Canadian mountain police building, but it was turned into our high school.
Yeah, we had the whole place to just kind of like roam.
Yeah. Being a part of this new wave of young actors coming up in Hollywood, how do you decide what stories are important to tell? How do you choose them?
There's been a real shift of focus on authentic representation that I think is really important. I think we kind of were like, oh, well, everybody needs to be represented, and then it was the wrong people telling these other people's stories. And so I think really focusing the right narratives, being told by the people who lived those stories or know those stories, and telling them authentically is really important. And I think that's something that I definitely pay attention to when I'm reading something.
What about you?
Everything you watch, everything you read, everything you listen to, you're consuming. I just hope that it has it starts like a positive conversation, or like it starts a new conversation, and like that's all I can hope for, is that like it connects people in some way.
I think when I read something and I see myself in some way or an aspect that I can relate to, even if it's like very minute, to be like, I felt that feeling before, even if it's not the circumstances, that makes me want to be in something. And if I can connect to it, hopefully someone watching my performance can connect to it. I want to make things that matter. I know that sounds stupid and everyone wants to make things that matter, but I don't know. I hope one day to, you know, produce projects and stuff that things I was scared to say before, and things that we don't talk about, so then it, like you said, opens conversations.
Because if it doesn't start a conversation, then kind of what is the point?
Yeah.
What is your guys' favorite thing about our show, and what do you want fans to know going in?
I want everyone to know how talented my friends are in it. Like watching it, truly, I was kind of like, oh, am I allowed to think that this rules because everyone's so good? Like even watching you work, and I was like, I'm in a show with her?
No, I felt that way.
No,
for the second I met you guys, I was like, wait, they're cool. Oh, I'm excited to be a part of this. I guess I want everyone to know that they will have no idea where it is going.
Yeah.
And every time you think you know, you don't.